Diary of a Certified Psychopath. Off the crank. Approximately 30 minutes of central British summertime, 20 unstable strides down 2 flights of stairs, and several piercing fox howls before this virtually forgettable venture into cyclical cyberspace commenced, my subconscious attention was fully occupied by an all-too-vivid dream, in which I was frantically engaged with editing and mastering a mission-critical audio project that coincidentally involved the painstaking preservation of my dearly departed papa's priceless LP collection, which for the record contains well over 4,000 12-inch discs of almost exclusively classical repertoire, and may at some point before my days on this mortal plane are numbered be safely transferred to a coherently catalogued digital library, far beyond reach of the cloud's ubiquitous metadata police, who even in this AI-assisted era of content curation still occasionally fails to distinguish the difference between a conductor, soloist, or composer. The practical consequences of any music delivery platform, whether an online subscription-based service or self-contained database software that is optimized to organize material from any non-classical genre, is that their autonomous archivists, having either been fed erroneous details about specific albums owned or ripped by other users, or not having the requisite fields to log certain details, will frequently believe that Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, together with every other long-deceased creator whose legacy remains immortal, are still all happily alive and presiding over performances of their own ageless compositions. Or perhaps they will also wrongfully credit artists with works they did not author. Back on tenuous topic, for some reason, in my mercurial imaginary realm, whilst undertaking this real-life task, I had my studio's main work PlayStation PC and turntable set up on a large bow-fronted desk on the balcony of a high-rise apartment overlooking Shoreham Harbour, just as an impending storm's thunderous overture resonated around the heavens, which was promptly accompanied by heavy flecks of palpably wet rain. "Don't panic," urged my restless mind behind 2 widely shut eyes. "Just carefully drag all of this gear back inside, through your front bedroom window, by its knotted nest of network and power cables, before this squall swells into a torrent. Then, when you wake up, none of its precipitous effects will have spilled over into your actual studio and ruined any precious equipment. And remember to save every WAV file you've recorded so far, or you'll have to transfer this boxed set of Chopin's complete piano works all over again." Communication Shakedown. As is traditionally the case when undertaking any measure of gamified exercise within the domain that has afforded fresh dimension to every recreational cyclist's concept of active role-playing, when motivation is in scarcer supply than affordable drinking water during the average British hosepipe ban, my ambiguous aim was to exert no more effort than would have been necessary to sustain a general degree of forward motion had this activity been a walk round my actual park. Regrettably, the sense of guilt that life imbues within inhabitants of a temperate climate who elect not to avail extended spells of fine weather also provokes certain amounts of self-inflicted suffering as subconscious punishment, and this modest goal ended up feeling far harder than Dr. Garmin's delayed senses saw fit to declare, even after I'd pulled his perished strap to its tightest lug, and been forced to manually U-turn my way around the coiling switchbacks, picturesque villas and sun-baked gravel strips of Watopia's Gold Coast using the companion app, after being booted out of full screen mode and back to the Windows desktop with no lazy tongs to reach the mouse. Frankly, if near-decade-old semi-smart technology can't keep its finger on the pulse for intervals of longer than 10 seconds, then kindly permit my subconscious to fill in any cardiological blanks. And in the rare instances that wireless signal integrity between equipment designed to measure, transmit and receive performance-related ride data remained consistent, 2 doubly calibrated cranks determined that I'd metered out a fraction over 13,357% more power than their ultra-long-life lithium-ion batteries. This pivotal pair of live coins were purchased and fitted on the same day, that is, at the time of speaking, back in early April 2025. And even after 3 months of moderate usage, averaging between 2 to 4 hours a week, continued to show a full indicator within Stage's officially obsolete but still functional diagnostic app.